Today, I am so excited and honored to have our friend from Canada, from Vancouver, Canada, or outside of Vancouver. Her name is Melanie Harder today. I was at a workshop in Vancouver and she had shared this with me, her product, and I was like, we need to get this to every single person who wants to teach multilinguals how to learn to read in English at the phonemic awareness level. So, Melanie, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit who you are?
Hi, Ton. Thank you for having me on your program. I'm very excited to be doing this podcast with you. I am an ESL teacher in Abbotsford, BC. I teach at two different schools, mostly in the primary elementary. And I have, in recent years, also become an author of children's books and a creator of a strategic reading science-based game.
And tell us about this science-based game.
Well, you know what? It started with, if I can tell you, it started with books. There was one book in particular that I really wanted to write for children that I thought was just really important to build their character and develop them into the best versions of themselves that they could be. I've since written five books, and I call it the Best of Me series. The first book is Shine, and then The Extraordinary Girl, Free to Be Me, Keeping My Power, and We Not Me. And so I started out with just Painted Plum Publishing. And then I had the idea that I thought, you know what? I would really love to develop joyful learning in the children that I work with, the multilingual students who were both neurotypical and neurodivergent. The kids who had ASD and ADHD, they were dyslexic, they were struggling readers, or they were newcomers, or they had interrupted schooling. I wanted to develop something based on the learning programs that I was using that would really give a lot of joy in their learning, a lot of fun, something that was hands-on experience so that it could be multisensory for them. So I looked at the programs I was using, and like most teachers, I pick parts of programs that work for me. Right? I find that most teachers pick parts of programs. So I was using UFly, which is an amazingly brilliant program, all research based, and it's got the segmenting and the blending, it's got the encoding and the decoding, it's got explicit teaching, it's systemic. I thought I want all of that in the product that I create. Now there's other programs too, like First Phonics with Tara West, and she teaches the vowels first in her scope and sequence. And I love that. I like to do that. But I also was learning from the logic of English, and I loved the rules. I was like, C only says if it's followed by an EI or Y. Why didn't anybody ever tell me that? I didn't know the two sounds of TH, the voiced and the unvoiced, the two sounds of G followed by an EI or Y. I wanted to know, all these rules, and I found it so fascinating, and I wanted to share those rules in my games. And then I was also really aware that the science of reading was very, very important to this systemic game that I wanted to create. Um, I know it had to have phonemic awareness. I knew it had to have phonics. I knew it needed to teach fluency. I needed to teach new vocabulary. And I wanted to make sure that comprehension was built in. So I set to work probably 16 hours a day for maybe 6 months. So I was working full time while I was doing this. And I wrote out tens of thousands of words to try and find the best combination of letters that I could find in the game that I wanted to create. And so what I came up with, and after I found a manufacturer, and after 400 emails, this is what we created. It was the first version. I'll just show you. So it was called, let me see. This was just called Pop and Read CVC word game. So it's strategic reading that's also um, explicit in its teachings. And then there was the digraphs and blends word game. And then there was the art controlled vowel and magic E word game. And I loved it. I loved it. I just thought, oh my goodness, this is so fun. The kids loved it. The teachers loved it. And then after I created version one, after a while, I took lots of feedback and I thought, I, I wonder what I could do to make a version two that was just kind of an extension of it. So I created the Confident Reader Edition. And that's mostly the one I'm going to talk about today. Is that okay? Okay. So, the CVC word game, Confident Reader Edition. I'm going to show you this. This is the poppet. It's double-sided. All the poppets are double-sided. They read left to right, and they have just 10 phonemes, the vowels in the middle, and 10 on the other side. So you're reading like this. I recently had some kids who started from another country and they read the opposite way. So it's really interesting to make sure that we're reading in the correct direction. But so there's this poppet, and the game comes with actually two double-sided poppets. And then it also comes with ringed cards. And the cards all have these wonderful pictures on them. And just to really engage the kids and get them to think creatively, almost a little bit of magic, like this picture right here, a cat is in the bath. I mean, you could do a writing story just from the picture, right? Or the fish can swim, or he is last. The kids love the pictures. So it's actually built-in success, because what I really want to do with the joyful learning is I want the kids to experience success and build their confidence. And as they have success, their confidence builds. So what they do is, if you have the cards that has a white dot in the corner, you go to the side of the poppet that has white lettering. If you have cards that have a blue dot in the corner, you go to the side of the poppet that has blue lettering. And they are different letters. Some obviously are repeat, but there's only 10 options. There's 10 options here. There's 5 options here. It's always got a vowel. The vowels are highlighted in red, and there's 10 options here. In the scope and sequence that I based it on, which was largely on like UFly, which is why it works seamlessly with all of these reading programs. It also includes the double L, F, S, and Z. So how you would play it, I'm so excited to share this with you. So you'd look at the cards and you see a picture of a dog, and then you read the dog. The one word in the sentence is missing one of the sounds. It'll either be the beginning, the middle, or the end sound. Okay. The dog can sit. And then you take your poppet and you pop out the letters D, G. And then you turn your card over to see if you've got it right. And then you do a little celebration if you did. And then you use the traceable arrows to show the letter formation. D says D, O says ah, G says G. And then you've got rhyming words at the bottom. So you can bring your pop back, and you've got fog and hog here. So I'd go F, og, and H, og. So the repetition is great for your phoneme grapheme connection. So the letter sound correspondence is always being repeated. And then we move on to the digraphs and blends, which in the scope and sequence of how kids learn to read is the next part. So it also includes the DGE and the TCH, which are the two digraphs that kids learn first. And again, the black goes with the black side, the black dot goes with the black side, and the blue purpley dot goes with the blue side. So here we would have the rabbit is quick. And so I'd go over here and I'd go Q-U, quick, quick. By the way, a really cool rule that I just learned for CK is that if there is a one syllable word with a short vowel, it's always CK at the end, in case kids are wondering. Anyways, so quick. And so you do that with each side of the poppet. And then when you are done those ones, you go on to, there's a magic E one that you can see. It has a magic E right in the corner right there. So if my card was, she is cute, and you can see the magic E is denoted with a little green star, then I'd come to my popping mat and I'd go C, and doesn't it have a nice pop to it? U T E. Cute. And then I turn it over to see if I've got it right. And yay, I can celebrate. And then I pop out the rhyming words flute, lute, and mute. And the last one, before we would actually get to like your vowel teams, would be the R controlled vowels. So the A R, E R, I R, O R, and U R. And I don't have any cards that actually use W O R but I wanted the W on there because if you wanted to teach that, usually when you have an OR after a W, it says So I wanted you to have that option to be able to teach that. But so let me see one of the cards here. Oh, so I like to go to the park. I pop out park, arc, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to check it and I'm going to see if there's any other R controlled vowels that would work. And there is in here. It's perk and pork. So there is a lot of decoding and a lot of encoding, a lot of segmenting, a lot of blending. It just, and it's all systemic with explicit teaching in it. But I use it in so many different ways with kids. I also wanted to show you that some of the, I didn't use all of the rules of the English language in it, but I made sure, like in the dog can sit, you can see the dog can sit, it says S, but over here, I have the kid is 10 and Z is the sound in there, right? For S. But, and here, there's one that goes, he got first place. And you can see that the C says S there. And here's the two sounds of TH. So this is the chin. So the voiced and the unvoiced with he has to think. So you've got that there. And sometimes I put in extra sounds. Oh my goodness, look at this picture. Isn't it so cute? He has to push it. So sometimes I use umlauts because, you know, we know A says A, and ah. So I don't teach that A says ah, but I do have ah in like want, right? Also on the cards, I have, so here was the picture, is the cave is dark and wet, but sometimes I'm going to have an asterisk. And the asterisk means that the vowel is not going to say what you think it's going to say. English words don't end in I, U, V, or J. So I think I'm just kind of teaching it by osmosis, right? But have cannot end in a V sound. So it's just a placeholder. So that's why it doesn't say have, but I've denoted it with an asterisk. So any sounds where the vowel isn't what you think it's going to say, it has an asterisk by it. Anyways, so there's CVC, yes, digraphs and blends, and R controlled vowel and magic E. And those are my three explicit teaching tools, but I do use it in a lot of ways. Would you like to know how the kids use it? Yes?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so it's a lot of reinforcement, high engagement, multisensory. Lots of times the kids Oh, I love this about it. Lots of times the kids will go, I want to play this one. And they'll go with an R controlled vowel or a digraph and blend so that they're choosing what they want to learn, right? And that makes it much more joyful learning as well. But if, let me just grab a poppet here. If the child is, if the student that I'm working with is not at the same level as everybody else, then it's leveled. It's differentiated learning for the kids, and everybody gets to play, even though they're at a different level. Everybody still can feel success and build confidence and learn their phonics. How I also do it is with these cards in particular, like, where's one of this? So if the child is built, because success is built in, I wanted to scaffold even within the cards, not just within the reading program. So here, if the child does not know their vocabulary yet, some of my multilingual learners don't know vocabulary. They can decode, but they don't know what the word is or what it means, right? And sometimes they can't do either. Sometimes they don't know their phonemes, or sometimes I'm just teaching vowels, right? Like A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I. We do that a lot. So here I might just go fox, right? And then we turn it over and they can just copy the grapheme. So they see, that shape. That shape is right there. This shape is right here. So they're just copying basically a shape because they really don't know what the letter is yet. After a little while of learning, then we would go, they'd go, oh, that's a fox. And they'd come over here and they'd pop out fox. Ox. And then after that, they'd go fox and they'd pop it out. And now they can go, F says f, O says ah, X says x. And then when they've got all of that under their belt, then they can go, the fox is red, decode the whole sentence, pop it out, come over here, F says f, O says ah, X says x, and then pop out the rhyming words. So even just these cards are scaffolded so that everybody gets to play, everybody gets success. Or if somebody goes, Mrs. Harder, I'm done, all of my cards, I'll go, you've got 10 minutes. I want you to find me all the words that you can find in here and write them down. Now use two of those words and write them in a sentence, right? So that's really fun for them as well. So they use it in a lot of different ways. I might also say to them, you know what, you're going to be writing this. I want to give you a pop it right now. I want you to start writing out, pop out the word first and then spell it. So it's a lot of repetition in the sounds and in the blends and in the digraphs and in the magic E and in the R controlled, so that the automaticity it's just there. It starts to roll and then they feel really good about themselves and it works. Ton, it works. Like the kids love it. I love teaching with it. The teachers love teaching with it. I've just got such good feedback from the kids and the parents and the teachers and myself. I use it every day. It works great with my other programs. It works great on its own. You can use it one-on-one. The kids can use it independently with a partner in a small group, in a whole class, or you can take it home. Take it home and use it there, and your parent can actually help you, or you can do it on your own. Small enough to travel. Great gift idea.
How do you, so a lot of teachers are listening and let's talk about the two groups. Like, how do you do it in small groups? How do you do it in whole class?
Okay, well, if I'm doing everyone comes with two double-sided poppets. So if I've got 6 kids in my group, I would like 3 boxes, right? I'd like every kid to have a poppet. If I only have 2 poppets, then what I can do is I can do individual digraph and blend work, or just individual letter sound recognition with 2 kids. The other kids can be reading, and where are my cards here? They can be reading, like the kid can run and then they turn it over, R says Surprisingly, a lot of kids start at the bottom and come up instead of starting at the top. I don't know if you can see there, but it actually starts on the green and goes down and comes up and goes around it, right? So some other kids can be working with this. The way I do it mostly is I will teach a targeted sound that we're working on. And like I say, lots of times I like what Tara West does with First Phonics, and she starts with her vowels as well. And that's really cool. So shout out to Tara West, wherever she is. I mean, I love Hegarty too. It's all that segmenting and blending. It's just, there's so many brilliant, wonderful research-based programs out there. This is another learning tool that actually can complement any of those. But what I would do is I would teach a sound and then I put it into practice. We do the word work with it. Make sure that we have the phonemes, and then we can blend it together. I don't use, like, this has the double L on it, so I don't teach all right away. I do introduce it in one of the cards in a sentence, but I don't use it as a card, right? I don't use the tricky sounds. I use the really basic sounds for kids. Oh, I have to show you something else too, is another way that I use the program is I've created all of these worksheets. So it's just another way to extend the learning. So I would take my Pop-It, and here I would pop out B-I-G, big, and then I sound it out, big, blend it, big, and then blend it again, big. So there's just tons of worksheets here. Some are 3 letters, some are 2 letters. There's a rhyming page. There's a page with just the double sounds at the end. There's a page with just all words. And then I also made word lists, and I have these worksheets and word lists for every side of every pop. And it's just free downloadable on the website, Painted Plum Education. And the word lists list all of the rules of the English language. And I've got all the words listed by vowel sounds, by beginning letters, ending sounds, rhyming words, and nonsense words. And I've got that for, like I said, every side of every pop.
So you said that you had lots of feedback from teachers
Mhm.
and students. So how can you tell us, well, both, how have students responded to it? Use a very specific story, and
Okay.
then share with us a feedback from a teacher, a very specific teacher, their
Okay.
experience.
Well, I will tell you this story. There was a child in one of the classes who had not been able to focus for, I think it was 17 seconds is what it was. And I tried pop and read with him, and he did it for 19 minutes. 19 minutes. I just fell off my chair. I was so excited. So he really, really liked it. And in the classrooms, it can be used as like a small group, but I'll just give you this example is one of the teachers was telling me she has it as one of her learning centers, and it's always the first center that everybody goes to. Everybody fights to go to it because that's really fun for them. And I love that. I love that. I want it to be fun for them. I want them to go, yes, we want to do pop and read. And they feel so successful when they start to be, and to be able to read it. And then when they turn it over and they go, yes, I go, yes. And we all celebrate, right? Just that feeling of, I can do this and look at how good I'm getting. And um, I love that they feel so good about themselves, because that was the intent of it, right? I wanted to create something that would encourage people to want to learn to read, and that was easy to use and fun to play.
You shared that you have lesson plans that go with them.
Oh, the lesson plans are for the books. I have, for each of my books, there is just like the worksheets and the word lists. For the books, there are downloadable lesson plans and it's the Best of Me book series, and downloadable worksheets for each one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
if
So
anybody's got,
okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so if anybody's got any questions, they can just email me as well on paintedplumeducation.com, and get back to them right away and answer any questions that they have.
So the lesson plans are for the books and they're standalone, and
Yeah.
then the cards, the puppets are
Yeah.
standalone as well. Have you seen any ways that teachers have integrated the words and the word lists, the words and the puppets into like integrated with like reading and writing?
Oh,
Any way?
yeah. Like sometimes we do whole class lessons. So everybody in sometimes what we start with is everybody gets one pop. Everybody gets one pop, and then we'll do words, specific targeted sounds that we're looking for. So it's very explicit teaching. And we'll go, maybe we're working on the ch sound. So we'll do words that have ch at the beginning and words that have ch at the end, right? And so what they'll do is the kids will say word, the kids will pop it all out, and then they'll put up their pop as quick as they can, and we make it into a game and we make it really fun, right? And then after they're done that, then they can go to the cards and they can do that with a partner. And then usually what we'll do is give them word search time so that they can pop out as many words as they can. Then what the teacher, whatever sound that the teacher is working with, she can use this again to reinforce the teaching that we just did to help them with their writing. Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, Melanie, I when I first saw this, and I am the first person to say I do not teach phonics. That's not my
Yeah.
area of expertise because I work with older kids. And my older kids have phonemic awareness and they can decode. When I saw this, and I was like, yes, something that I can give teachers. I have only shared two commercial products ever on the podcast. Um, and that's because those two products, I thought, wow, these products have to be in the hands of teachers. And this will be the third where I share.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
not making any money on this. And I just want to make sure that teachers have access because the guiding question is how do we teach phonics? And
Mhm.
this is something that I saw and instantly was like, yes, we can get it. Like teachers can get this. Just looking at it in 20 seconds when you shared with me, I instantly understood how to use
Mhm.
it, how kids can use it. It's so direct yet tactile and so easy to use. Teachers are busy. They do not have time to create ways and systems to create
Mhm.
to create a system for teaching phonics. And you use UFly to make this happen, and you integrate it into a physical product. So I'm so impressed. Have you been in contact with UFly? Maybe they were able to do something with you.
I have not. I have not. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things I could, should, and probably should do at this point, but I have not. I do have this box, the CVC word game on Amazon in the US. In Canada, it's on my website, Painted Plum Education. So those are the only places really that I have it at this point. But I want teachers to know and parents that it really is backed by science. Every single card, every single picture, every single word on the sentences is very, very intentional. I wanted the pictures to be magical and engaging for the kids. Like the rabbit is quick, so cute, right? I wanted things that would engage the children, but let the parents know that the rules of the English language were embedded in the sentences and in the cards, that they're there in the worksheets. They don't have to know it if they don't know it. It's just going to teach it to them, and that it was multisensory. So the kids who are having difficulty focusing or enjoying reading all of a sudden have something that they can do that's really fun for them, that they want to do. And the teachers have a tool that they can work alongside of whatever program that they're using for reading or in small groups or however. I do a lot of one-on-one with this too. So,
Yeah, I know teachers in the US and Canadian context, they have a lot of small group interactions with their students where they work um, with students in a very dedicated time, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then they move
yeah.
to the next class.
Yeah.
So this, I think, is perfect for that context where teachers are working at a quote unquote um, pull out format. I call it small group instruction. So teachers who are using that service model, like this is will really be really great for them. So, Melanie, what a treat to have you on. When there is something where kids run to, that is something that needs to be shared to everybody. And so thank you for making it possible to teach phonics for our multilingual learners.
Yeah, I have to tell you as well, Ton, I have been using your NVD ABS West Bondi with the poppets.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
and like BUT and then AND, yes, oh, is, yeah.
No, well, I've been doing like NVD, okay,
Yeah.
noun-verb detail. I've been saying, okay, come up with a noun on here
Oh, and then a verb.
and a
Oh,
verb,
cool.
and
Yes.
now write me a noun-verb detail sentence.
That's so cool. You found a way to integrate sentence and reading as well together. Wow.
Yes, yes, it's like it's been so cool. Thank you. Your team has
Oh,
been invaluable. Your structured sentences have been amazing to be able to use to teach the kids. Thank you.
oh, well, it's just building on each other's work. So thank you for making that happen. Finding a new way to work with your kids in using your puppets. So everybody, you can go to Painted Plum Education. What a lovely name. I got the image and where you can get the books and the puppets.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you. Bye bye.